Why hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as Lego Dude 11, and today is a brand new video out on the channel. Today's a brand new top 10 video, and in today's is going to be me ranking my top 10 favorite movie franchises of all time, or nerdy franchises, as I kind of may call them. But this is going to be a longer video, which I am premiering right now, and if you're into these types of longer videos, thank you for tuning in and watching this one. If you're not, I do apologize. This is something I've been planning to do for a while and had to delay it a little bit, but it is here. You are watching it, so thank you for tuning in, and sit back and relax and enjoy as I discuss my top 10 movie franchises of all time. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Alright, so up first, number 10 is the Transformers franchise. Now, right off the bat, I have to say that this is the clunkiest franchise I have ever watched in my life. Right off the bat, the first three movies, the main trilogy, is great, is a classic ride. But once you get into Age of Extinction, it's like they totally misfired and did not understand what they were doing. You have the Transformers, but it's just kind of like... It's not there. And, you get the most recent movie, which is Bumblebee. That's a fresh concept. I totally recommend Bumblebee to you. Here's my thoughts on it. The first three movies are great. The first one I watched, it has a lot of jokes. I love the humor. Second one is a great sequel, just a great connection from the first one, and I love the villain, I love the Fallen, and then number 3 has a great concept, has great spectacle and everything that Michael Bay can do directing, but the first 30 minutes are just weird character introductions that mean nothing, and then but once you get into the second act, it's kind of the film kind of gets better from there. Age of Extinction is absolutely terrible, where they introduce Mark Wahlberg and this cast that is drastic. Furthermore, they have this girlfriend who's dating this guy, and the boyfriend has creepy dialogue who has something about to do with rape, and terrible plot line to begin with. And the daughter gets kidnapped, and Mark Wahlberg and the boyfriend have crazy dialogue that does not need to be put in this film. And beyond that, the movie on a whole is just bonkers and really seems to not have a plot in general. The Last Night seems to be 16 plot points crammed into one movie, so you are just loaded with plot and unbelievable moments. Why? And then Bumblebee is a great origin story, which I totally recommend to you if you have not seen it. Watch Bumblebee. Great, lovable moments. Character arcs are fantastic. Just pieces of action that are incredible, and Bumblebee is my favorite Transformers movie here. 1 is great as well. The main trilogy is amazing. I like it. And then Age of Extinction and The Last Night, really weird. Also, The Last Night, one of my most frustrating things about it is that the aspect ratio keeps changing size in the middle of it, so the size of the screen is just constantly changing throughout every scene in the movie, so it's unbelievably distracting, and I think it's absolutely terrible. I don't know why these movies need to exist, but for Age of Extinction and The Last Night are probably the worst movies, couple movies I've ever seen in my life. And yeah, those are my thoughts on Transformers movies. I love the first 3, but those 2, I could not believe my eyes. And yeah, Bumblebee is worth a watch. So that's what I think on that, and let's move on. Next up, number 9 is the Hobbit / Lord of the Rings franchise. Now, for me, personally, I think fantasy overall is really nice, a really well done piece of art. I saw the first Narnia movie last year, and then, excuse me, I saw the Hobbit, back in 2017, or maybe 18, early 2018. Maybe it was 18, I think that's the right year. And I played all the LEGO games. I have not played LEGO Lord of the Rings just because it's not available on my console. I have PS4. But these movies in particular, I watched Lord of the Rings just like a month ago, and for me, Lord of the Rings is The Hobbit is definitely where I stand on watching these films. If I had to pick one or the other, in the Middle Earth genre franchise here, it's just something to me where like the humor between Bilbo and the dwarves together, just I like their charismatic connection. Nature behind them together is just one of my favorite parts of The Hobbit. The dwarves interacting and going into these different situations and how they react to things is just funny. And Legolas is in the movie as well. I believe in the last one. I always like the adventure going on behind all three movies. And Smaug is great as well. Just Benedict Cumberbatch playing Smaug in this role, voicing him. I haven't seen the last one in a while, but you know, playing the Lego games and all this humor throughout is just something I personally love. And Lord of the Rings, when I watched it, I've like browsed through the books and whatnot, but Lord of the Rings, in my opinion, takes so long. And I was chatting with a coworker. She watched it like this summer as well, and I was talking with her. She's like, they're great pieces of artwork. I agreed, but they take too long, and to stretch it out, this amazing book series, and they take like one page and make it 20 minutes. And for me, that's not something I personally enjoy from a movie like this. But overall, they're great pieces of artwork. I think The Hobbit, in my opinion, I enjoy it more than Lord of the Rings. You say what you will down below, but that's what I'm going to say right here, right now. Number 8 is the one, the only DCEU. And I don't like to talk negatively about these things, but there's so many things, in my opinion, when I've talked to my friends and just watch these movies for myself, I've had so many mixed thoughts. And actually, I somewhat agree with people and have changed my thoughts on these movies. One thing being the Snyder Cut. After I saw it, I've watched bits and pieces. I haven't watched from start to finish, but I think looking at the Snyder Cut, what they did with it, definitely way better than the first one. And things like the Suicide Squad is definitely my favorite. You know, I love the first Wonder Woman. Aquaman was very fun, humorous. Some people don't like it, but I love it for the humor and what they got going. Shazam was great. I cannot wait for Shazam 2. And, you know, the Suicide Squad was way better than Suicide Squad. And when I look back at the old Suicide Squad, I don't go, we really need the air cut of that. I just feel like we got a brand new fresh one, so in my opinion, I'm going, alright, we don't need that. There's so many films here, you know, like Batman. We have the Dark Knight movies, which I absolutely love. And then there's terrible films like Man of Steel, Justice League, Batman vs. Superman. So they're all right, but in my opinion, we have these other fantastic movies. And Wonder Woman 1984, ouch. Don't know how that happened. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, there's some movies that are fine. You know, and putting this here, I think this franchise, they're trying to compete in certain ways, but I think with, you know, sometimes the budget can be overdone, but at the end of the day, this is a franchise like Aquaman, Wonder Woman. Well, you know, the first Wonder Woman was better than the second one, but when you look at it as a whole, I think you just have to say these are nice superhero movies. Also, Batman vs. Superman, the extended edition is, I guess, better. I've never personally watched it, but I think it's something that makes the movie better. And I don't know, I do like these DC movies. I've never checked out Man of Steel, but I know it's not something, like, I've watched clips on YouTube. They're not the best, in my opinion. I just can't grasp onto it. So yeah, Aquaman, first Wonder Woman, Shazam, nailed it in my opinion. Suicide Squad is perfect, and then, you know, I'm excited for what's to come with the Batman, Black Adam, Shazam 2. I'm quite excited. A little leery on Aquaman 2 is kind of up there. I'm a little leery on The Flash, but hopefully it's quite good. So that's my thoughts on DCEU. Let's continue. Alright, the next franchise we have is Pirates of the Caribbean. And this one is similar to Transformers, but not really. I feel like this one has similarities to the Transformers. That being, they have like the main core trilogy, and then a couple other movies that are new. And the first trilogy is classic. You know, you have Curse of the Black Pearl, which I think does great character introductions. Number 2, Dead Man's Chest, I think is one of the most rewatchable of this franchise. Maybe, maybe not. I just love Davy Jones and everything he brings to the table in this film particularly. And then number 3, At World's End, is just a crazy, bonkers conclusion to this main trilogy itself. You know, with Jack Sparrow on this island, and then the pirate group going to rescue him at this world, like from the Kraken's demise, and all of it is just some sort of wacky adventure into this. But I love these movies, and something about it I love way more than Transformers. I just love the score, the adventure, how the characters work together, and yeah, the main trilogy is great. Number 4, I think it's believed like The Tides, I forget what it is. Tides on the Water, it's not that. But on Stranger Tides, I was trying to think like it's Stranger Things, but on Stranger Tides, it's alright. It deals like with this plot of like mermaids and something, and Jack Sparrow it's kind of like a reboot movie. And then number 5 is like this fresh new take on it. Like it does like a 20-year time jump in the future. So they bring back some of like the Elizabeth and Will, and then they make them older, and they have like this grandson of Will who goes on a quest with Jack Sparrow. But by the end of it, you're just kind of like left like, huh? Like this movie, like why does this exist? And then at the post-credit scene, or like how the movie ends, we get a cliffhanger for, oh, Davy Jones is back. But it's kind of like we already ended that arc, so you're left wondering, oh, there's a new one coming out, but we ended that a while back, so why? Why does this need to happen? I don't understand it. Personally, I thought the movie was enjoyable. I was on the edge. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And, you know, I always loved the concept. I love the movies, the score, the battles, everything. I love pirates fighting one another. But something about it, just that I don't know why they need to make another one. But, you know, the first concept, the Black Pearl, that whole plot line, Davy Jones, the Kraken, you know, the third one, these mermaids, all this, I love it. I love this pirate franchise. But at the end of the day, I don't know why they needed to make a new one. It's not like a reboot. It kind of is, but it's just left me going. And Jack Sparrow Johnny Depp tweeted that he's not playing Jack Sparrow. So that's really odd. So I don't understand the concept and what direction they're going. But at the end, I'm lost for words. The franchise to me, great. Don't know the direction they're headed. So those are my thoughts on it, but I'm just kind of so confused about it. Next up, we have the Back to the Future franchise, and for me, this is one franchise that I have just rewatched so many times, particularly YouTube clips of the movies. But yeah, I was trying to think of like what franchises to include on this list. As I said, this video had to get delayed a little bit, and in this one, I just kept looking at like I can't forget this franchise to put this on this list. Even though it's 3 movies, in a way, I've just rewatched this so many times, and it's one that I absolutely love. Right now, I'm just going to mention that the second movie is my favorite, and I feel like when I've talked about it with like what movie's your favorite to my friends, they always they agree with me. The second one is just tons of fun. I feel like when I've watched people talk about it, they say the third is their favorite, either 1 or 3. I don't know where they're coming from. But I feel like 3 for me is my least favorite, just in terms of it's funny, but it doesn't have a lot of like rewatchable moments. And maybe that's just me. Maybe some of you are different. Let me know in the comments if you are. But as a whole, I think it's 3, 1, and then 2 for me. It's just, 1 is great for nostalgia. Seeing Michael J. Fox try to, as Marty McFly, try to reunite his parents to fall in love and save the day and go back to the future. 2, so it doesn't get erased out of existence, is an incredible concept, as well as the second one just continuing onwards and making it this fresh, different concept with Biff and these different timelines of Biff trying to steal back the sports almanac. Is one of my favorite just moments in a movie ever. Just different timelines of this character, seeing how he can play different versions of himself is beyond me. I love it, and the score from it is just incredible as well, especially the second one. I don't know what happened, but it's my favorite movie to like just rewatch these moments. 3 is interesting. It's just like a Western movie. To me, it just seems like a solo movie, solo Back to the Future Western adventure. I don't know what it is. It's just like transitions directly into that, and to me, it's not as rewatchable as the other 2, but I don't know. By the end of it, you remember, hey, this is a Back to the Future movie, and there's a time travel train and all this, so I don't know. It's just, it leaves me like a bad taste in my mouth. Is like, there's not a lot of time travel, so it's just doesn't make me want to watch it a lot more. But I don't know. I love the second one. Just all these moments with Biff, and you know, in the robe scene, and when he goes to the car, you see old Biff and young Biff, and then the 2015 scene in the future, and all of it's great. I can't say enough things about it. That's my take on Back to the Future. So let's continue. Alright, number 5, we have on 5th place, we're in the top 5, we got Jurassic World franchise, and Jurassic Park as well. This whole franchise we got. To me, this is one, there's like a gap between like the DC and Pirates of the Caribbean, and then like gaps between some of these. And this one is, for me, like I said with Back to the Future, is rewatchable. Some of these are rewatchable, some of them are not. But this one, I feel like in a grouping, is like it's just ended. Now we're getting a new one, Jurassic World Dominion, but to me, I feel like I think they're ending it here. I don't think this is one they're playing like one after the other after the other. Pirates of the Caribbean just feels like they don't know if they're stopping. Transformers, they don't know if they're stopping. I feel like this is their conclusion to this trilogy, to the Jurassic World trilogy, and they're done. That's what I think. I could be entirely wrong, but I think that's their plan. What I also love about this franchise is, you know, the first trilogy was nice. 1, just classic character introductions. Number 2 was nice to have like a Jeff Goldblum Jurassic Park movie. Just, he brings a lot to the role and has this starring character here. And number 3 was a really weird concept, or a really weird plot line, where they had to go save this kid from this island, and then dinosaurs start talking to you. But overall, I think that Jurassic World was a nice step up. And then, I love this show on Netflix, Camp Cretaceous. I think it's a really nice homage to the films itself, and then these nice characters are fleshed out in the show itself, and something about this franchise just really works for me, as opposed to Transformers, which just was so clunky and just not great at all. Just got really weaker. But this, I feel like they know what they're doing, and hopefully Dominion is alright. You know, Fallen Kingdom was a little, they made some weird interactions, but I think the first Jurassic Park, or a World film, was a nice concept with the park opening up, and all these people were able to travel throughout, and then they took it in a way that transitioned with the Indominus in a new light, and now the dinosaurs have escaped and are out in the world. So it's interesting to see where they go with this. I just love dinosaurs, and these movies are really fascinating. So yeah, that's what I think of the franchise, and we're going to continue to the future. Number 4 for me is Indiana Jones, and for this franchise in particular, I had to put it up here because I think it's so classic to anybody who watches this. I think these movies have aged so well throughout time since they've been released. And to me, I haven't really rewatched them as much as Back to the Future or maybe scenes of Pirates of the Caribbean, but I can tell you that the score and the movies themselves in general are rewatchable anytime you watch them. I actually take that back. Number 2 is the one I've watched the most, the clips. And the Lego games are fun as well. I forgot to mention with Jurassic World, the game, if you have not played the Lego game, play it. It's tons of fun as well. The Indiana Jones game, they haven't made a reboot for it. But in general, these movies are just amazing. You have the first one with the Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is just a great story. And then number 2, Temple of Doom, in my opinion, is so fun. Some people hate it. I love this movie. I don't care about the child labor. I understand that's not a good plot line. I understand that the crucifixions or oh my gosh, they're tearing his heart out. I understand that. They take an insane violence in other movies. This I don't care. I don't even care. I just love the silly humor of Willie screaming at everything and just Indiana Jones, and when they get their food, it's just hilarious. I love this movie. I don't know why people hate it. Well, I do. But I don't care. I just simply laugh at it. I just love the concept and love the plot line as a whole. Number 3 is great as well. Just Indiana Jones having a fun time with Sean Connery as his dad. And them going on adventure throughout the plane ride. Everything is fantastic. I love it. The third one as well is a great ending to the trilogy. And then Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is not the best, but I still find it enjoyable for, the refrigerator scene, Shia LaBeouf as his son, all of these things happening. It's still a great Indiana Jones adventure, but I can see how people don't like it because of the aliens and all that. I still think that's the worst one. And then 3, I do love 2 a lot, and 1, they just kind of are all in a jumble for me. I can't really pick a favorite. Just 3 and 2 are just really great. 1 is so great for nostalgia factors, but I love this franchise overall. 4 is not the best. Hopefully this new one that's coming out with old Harrison Ford, it will be fun. But I'm excited to see what happens, and this franchise is just perfect win. Great nostalgia. Check them out. They've aged perfectly, so let's continue here. Number 3 in top 3 is Harry Potter and the Wizarding World, as a matter of fact. All 9 of these movies, or I was going to say 9 because they made The Cursed Child, but I haven't really seen it. I guess it's more of a play, isn't it? I don't know. All the 8 movies are just amazing. I've seen them all, and I've seen the 2 Fantastic Beasts movies. I think Fantastic Beasts is kind of just weak in my opinion. The first one was really fun. They have a Lego Dimensions pack for it, which is very fun as well to play through. And Harry Potter, for me, I've been to Universal, so that's tons of fun. I recommend it. I want to go back and vlog throughout the world. But these movies have so much grand this whole spectacle is amazing. The grandness of the world, Hogwarts, and everything you see for your eyes is amazing. I personally love this franchise more than The Hobbit, as you can tell by putting this in 3rd place, but something about this doesn't take too long to narrate, or it doesn't drone on, and maybe that's not a bad thing. In my opinion, they could have made more detail for the 4th movie, as the book has a lot more detail. But I think overall, as a movie, you don't want to drone on and on. Now, I feel like, again, with the fourth movie, they could have added more stuff in, but I think the broad idea is still there. So overall, I think these movies do a great job at bringing it's Harry Potter, wizarding, magic, and spells, and put it all together, and you have nice battles between good and evil, and then these mixture of, ooh, who's this Mad-Eye Moody? Is he really evil? Who is he actually? And in the end, it's just fantastic. All these characters like Professor Umbridge, they're the defense against the dark arts teachers, and then like Voldemort trying to get in behind it all, and Order of the Phoenix is alright, but by the end of the series, it's just a nice epic conclusion, and I love it. Now again, I've never seen The Cursed Child. Maybe it is worth checking out. I don't know. I really don't know why they took him off HBO Max. Maybe there was some budget cut or something. I don't know. Also, Fantastic Beasts is just something that I will watch whenever the next one comes out, but I feel like the second one was kind of a downer in my opinion. But I don't know. I love Harry Potter, love the Wizarding World, love Universal, so be sure to check out a vlog whenever that comes out. And just this franchise is great to watch. Let's get to it. So runner-up here is Star Wars. Now you might be thinking, oh, that's an obvious choice, but not really. Some people really love Star Wars, and I've talked to people that really hate Star Wars, with that being the most recent movies. And I feel like Star Wars is kind of all over the place. Being said, with the Disney films themselves, I feel like people have just skipped out on Star Wars. But actually, I'm still watching it because, you have Clone Wars, which was a fantastic show. It didn't start off well, but I feel like as they went along, they took it in a direction that was very nice. Dave Filoni does great work, along with George Lucas, who started out doing Clone Wars. And then The Mandalorian nailed it so much that I feel like that people don't understand. Maybe the people that I've talked to, maybe there are people who love Mandalorian. There are. I love Mandalorian, but I think some people are just like, oh, great, another Star Wars show. I'm not watching this because of the movies and how bad they were, the Disney movies. But the original Star Wars is so classic, and the original trilogy, I do love the prequels. Moments are rewatchable in the prequels, as well as I do love The Force Awakens. I think The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker are Rise of Skywalker I do like a lot more than The Last Jedi, but Force Awakens as a fresh take on the Disney Star Wars movies, on the sequels, are great. It's great in and of itself. But The Last Jedi is just really bad for the director coming out and making this movie. Then J.J. Abrams made his own idea into the last one. But overall, I love the prequels. Darth Maul is a great character, dueling it out. General Grievous, Count Dooku, and Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker himself, the main star of the show, and then Luke Skywalker, all this, and even Luke Skywalker coming into Mandalorian. I love that. I love the story of the Mandalorian, these clones. Even The Bad Batch was a great show. I did a review on The Bad Batch a couple weeks ago, or last month actually, so that was pretty exciting, and I like the show. Can't wait to see Season 2 next year. But as a whole, I'll try to link The Bad Batch as up there. But overall, Star Wars is a great franchise, and being runner-up here is fantastic. I not wait to see the Obi-Wan show. I'm very hyped for that, as I've talked about a couple people about it, so I'm stoked to see that, and cannot wait to see what the future of Star Wars holds, as well as Star Wars Visions comes out this month, so excited for that as well. So that's my Star Wars. That's my talk about Star Wars. So let's get to the victor. Alright, so the victor is the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe itself. And you guys probably know that I'm a big Marvel fan, geek, nerd. So for this to be up there is no doubt, without question, up here. But yes, these are the movies that I rewatch the most out of all of this franchise. And I talk Marvel on, and I've been doing reviews for them since I started my channel. these movies, or I shouldn't say since I started my channel, since Avengers Endgame came out, and now I did WandaVision review, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki. I'm planning to do a What If review after it's over. I did Black Widow. A Shang-Chi review is coming soon, so I'm just pumped for everything. Shang-Chi, I'm so hyped for. All of it is incredible. I can quote almost the entire movie of Age of Ultron. It's unbelievable, and the scores from every movie I listen to on end. These scores, I cannot wait to hear each soundtrack from everything. WandaVision soundtrack was great. Loki's soundtrack was great. I cannot talk about the MCU enough. I actually watched Loki with my friends at camp a while back, so this summer. So that was fun, tons of fun as well, to enjoy a Marvel experience with them. Going to see these new Marvel films in the theaters with my friends is just a different experience that I'm always excited for right now, to see them with this group of friends. I'm going to do a post about Shang-Chi, so stay tuned for that, and possibly a vlog as well. So all of this, the MCU just it's such a great track record, and it does so, their advertising does so much better than DC. I don't know what DC does wrong with their advertising. It just seems like something is not there, and the MCU, Marvel / Disney, I think them being with Disney as well as Star Wars and Marvel do great advertising work, and I feel like it just holds up to this day and age. Whereas DC, Warner Brothers Day is great. The Suicide Squad had a lot of ads for it, but I feel like sometimes DC just isn't like, hey, we're coming out with this movie this time, but they don't tell us when. So MCU is definitely up there. I love seeing all these promotions for Shang-Chi, what's coming out for Marvel, what's coming out for Star Wars, and these definitely hold up, and I rewatch them the most all of the time. So with that being said, those are my top 10 nerdy franchises ranked of all time, 10 of them. And again, I might do an honorable mention type video. This took a while to do. I've been planning this all summer, and it's finally come out. It's finally here. So let me know your list. This was not the right list. This was just my list I created. If you would like to tell me your way you would rank nerdy franchises, tell me down below. I would have liked to put John Wick or something, The Matrix, but I haven't seen all of the Matrix movies. I've seen all of John Wick, but that is a little higher in language and age range. I haven't seen Fast and the Furious, so I couldn't put that on there. I didn't put James Bond on here, haven't seen that. Mission Impossible. But anyway, if there's something you would like to put down below, tell me. Put your ranking, and I'd like to hear it. I'd like to read it. Your comments down below, and I might do an honorable mentions video of different other franchises I didn't put in this list in the future. But with that said, thank you for checking out this video. If you did, hit that like button. That would be appreciated. Subscribe to the channel down below. Stay tuned for more videos like this, reviews, vlogs, and other such videos on the channel. And don't forget to share, comment, subscribe, and check out my Instagram page, which is down below. Follow me at Boba Fett Master. Catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to keep calm and play Lego. See you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.